In life, there are certain things you can't change or control, but us men end up wasting so much time but also energy on these things. For example, people's actions, people's opinions, what people think, what's going to happen in the future, what happened in the past, where we was born, our genetics. Whether it's the things you can't control or the things you can't change, spending too much time focusing on these things will destroy your mindset, but also your ability to take action. Just think about it for a second. If you're only focusing on the things you have no power over or have no way of changing, what kind of messages and signals are you sending to your brain? Without even realizing it, you're telling your brain you have no control over your life. This makes you feel helpless, and once you start feeling like that, you start developing a victim mindset. I spent most of my life stuck because I was someone who lived in the past, and I always thought what could have been or if only. Thinking like this made me feel like I'd fallen behind, missed all the opportunities, sending me deeper into that victim mindset. That's why it's so important you stop living in the past and stop thinking about the things you cannot change or have any control over. You need to start focusing on the things you can change and you can control, like your thoughts, your actions, your effort, your decisions, what you consume online, what you put in your mouth, the way you behave, the way you speak, even the way you look. Let's say you met a girl and it was going really well, but then you bottled it and you didn't ask for her number. She walks away. You spend the rest of the day thinking, why didn't I get a number? Why didn't I just ask for her details? You waste a whole day thinking of what could have been. Now let's imagine you change your mindset and said to yourself, listen, I missed that opportunity. I know I can speak to girls. I know I can make them smile. So the next girl I come into contact with and I have a bit of connection for, I promise myself I'm going to ask for her number. You see the difference between the two mindsets? If you focus on the past and all the things you wish you could have done, you end up losing time and the opportunity to change your life. But if you have that different mindset where you think, okay, I messed up on that situation, now going forward, I just need to do this. Change the way you think so you can change your results in your life. If you focus on the wrong things, you will never achieve the things that you want. But if you start to focus on all the things you can change and improve, it's crazy how your life will start to change and get a lot better. If you're currently in a rut or you're not getting the results that you want, it's probably because you're prioritizing the wrong things. That's why you need to step back and shift your focus onto the things that will help you to achieve your goals. One little change in your life can have a massive impact on your results. Being 40, sometimes I still fall into that trap of thinking, why didn't I get my shit together a lot sooner? But beating myself up won't achieve anything. If anything, it'll make things worse and cause me to lose more time. That's why whenever that happens, I just say to myself, Yazza, what you doing? These thoughts are not helping you. Stop thinking about what could have been. Start thinking about what you need to do today, tomorrow, and the day after. As soon as I say those words to myself, it gives me that little bit of a reset. I have to give myself a little bit of a slap in the face, wake myself up, and just get on with what I need to do. I can't change my past, and neither can you. That's why from this second, I want you to stop focusing on what could have been and start focusing on what can be. And start putting your effort into changing your life and achieving everything that you want. The next thing I want to talk about is mentally preparing yourself. In my last video, I talked about how you can use this to do hard things, but you can also use this as a daily tool to create that unbreakable mindset. So no matter what you experience, you can continue to do what you need to do. When I used to work in the hospital, I would have to drive from Manchester to Birmingham every Tuesday morning. That journey would take me about 2 hours, and it could be one of the most frustrating journeys, of the week. Because in the UK, we have a certain type of driver who sits in the third lane. The third lane is to allow you to overtake, but some drivers will just end up sitting there and driving slow. In Europe, if you flash someone, they move over so you can overtake. But in the UK, you would flash someone, then they would end up slamming their brakes on, trying to cause an accident. Then you would spend the next 30 to 40 minutes in road rage on the motorway. By letting other people control my actions, it kept me mentally weak. I would always make the wrong decisions or say the wrong thing. That's why you've got to prepare for meeting all types of people throughout the day. And in the book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius talks about this, where he in the morning prepared himself for meeting all types of people that would betray him, be dishonest to him, be rude to him, disrespect him. But he wouldn't allow that to sway his actions and his decisions. Once I implemented this tiny change into my mornings, everything changed. When I came across anyone who was trying to bring me down to their level, it wouldn't affect me. Whether it was people on the road, people at work, even family members. If you mentally prepare yourself in the morning, it will allow you to deal with the people, but also the challenges you're going to experience throughout the day. Doing this one simple thing will create the right mindset. You're not being negative by preparing yourself. All you're doing is setting yourself up to have the right mindset. So when you're faced with that difficult situation or that difficult person, you behave the right way, in a stoic way, and you behave in a way that suits you and not the other person. It's crazy how this one simple technique of prepping yourself will help you to face hard things, it'll help you to deal with the day, and it'll help you to get things done the right way. When you're trying to change your life, you're going to experience failures, setback, rejection, disappointment. You're going to go through it all. And when you start to experience these things, you start to question what you're doing. You start to doubt yourself, and you may even think you're riddled with bad luck, and then you say those infamous words, why me? When my first business failed, I was in the same position. I said, why me? Why does my business have to fail? Life is not fair. What makes things even worse, when you start to think like that, you just fall deeper into that victim mindset, and you actually start feeling sorry for yourself, believing the world is against you. It's only later in life I discovered failures, setbacks, disappointments are not a bad thing. And the way you look at them will determine what you do and how you feel. If your mindset is failing is a bad thing, you'll never take action and you will remain stuck in your situation. But if you see it as a way of getting better, but also helping you to achieve your goals, you will be able to accomplish whatever you want. This isn't something new. People were talking about this 2000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius, Rome's greatest empire, talks about this in his book Meditation. He reframed his negatives into positives, not because he liked suffering, but because he knew failures, setbacks, disappointments, problems in his life were an opportunity to get better. And also he knew there were some things that you can't change. Like in point 1, there are some things that are out of your control. So why waste your time on them? It's this mindset that helped him to run an empire. And that's why we have to adopt the same mindset going forward. We have to see every setback, every failure, every rejection, every disappointment as an opportunity to learn, but also get better. You can either let your past define you, or you can use it to help you take on those challenges you will experience in life. Now, if you want to know how to break those challenges down, make those hard things a lot easier, you might want to click here.